Tevin, a 28-year-old engineer, struggled with anxiety, stress, and constant worries about the future. After reading a blog post about strengthening mental resilience by adopting Stoic principles, he decided to explore how these teachings could transform his mindset and ability to handle life's challenges. Initially, Tevin noticed that he often succumbed to destructive emotions like anger and self-pity when faced with frustrations at work or interactions with family. Realizing that external events triggered these reactions, he started practicing pausing, writing in a journal to process his feelings, and responding calmly from a place of reason. This helped him communicate boundaries without blaming others. He also worked on his tendency to blame outside forces and play the victim when encountering career obstacles. By focusing more on his accountability and power to make a difference, Tevin saw improvements. He began to view setbacks as opportunities for learning and exploration, leading him to embark on creative side projects. Although releasing worries about the future was challenging for Tevin due to his anxiety, he found mindfulness techniques like daily meditation helpful in staying grounded in the present moment. By scheduling time to plan and prepare for uncertainties while prioritizing today's tasks, he was able to alleviate his overthinking. Within 2 months, these simple adjustments drastically transformed Tevin's stress levels, happiness, and problem-solving abilities. Applying Stoic wisdom and eliminating toxic anti-Stoic habits improved his self-trust and mental fortitude. He stopped reacting impulsively based on emotions and began living in alignment with his inner strength and resilience. These 10 key Stoic teachings have immensely bolstered Tevin's resilience, and they can do the same for you. Let's explore them together. Lesson 1. Reframe challenges as opportunities for growth. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Seneca. Have you ever found yourself stuck at a crossroads, facing a problem that seemed impossible to overcome? It's easy to see such challenges as disasters as if they mark the end. But Stoicism offers a different way of looking at things. Stoics, like Seneca, thought that life's tough times weren't just obstacles but chances to grow personally. And it makes sense. Think about it. Every problem is a chance to test how strong you are mentally, to learn, and to become better. This change in thinking turns every problem into a chance to learn. Whether it's dealing with a big project at work or facing personal troubles, each problem helps you become a better person. So, the next time you're faced with a big problem, remember what Seneca said. Embrace the challenge, learn from it, and let it help you become a stronger, resilient, and more experienced version of yourself. Lesson 2. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand. Seneca. Negative thinking, a key idea in Stoicism, might seem like something only pessimists do at first, but it's not about being negative. It's about getting ready for the surprises life throws at us. It wasn't easy, but in my business adventures, I learned to use this idea. By thinking about what could go wrong, like a business decision failing, I got ready for those possibilities in my mind. This way of thinking helped me make backup plans, get tougher emotionally, and face problems calmly. When we've already thought about the bad things that could happen, actually dealing with them feels less scary. It's like having a plan for the unexpected, so when bad things happen, and they will, we're not totally shocked. Lesson 3. Focus on what you can control. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Epictetus. This might be the most important lesson Stoicism has taught me. Have you ever gotten upset about being stuck in traffic, a flight being late, someone saying something mean, or the economy changing? We've all been there. But here's the thing. We can't control traffic, the weather, other people, or the economy. Yet, we still worry and stress about them. Does worrying change anything? Not really. This Stoic idea is simple but powerful. It tells us to put our energy into things we can change. In my own life, whether facing a personal problem or a business issue, this lesson has changed everything. I've learned to stop worrying about negative feedback, missed chances, or things I can't control. Instead, I focus on things I can control, like getting better at what I do and improving my business strategies. Following this Stoic idea means less stress and more getting things done. It's about going from useless worrying to doing things that make a difference. Try it. Ask yourself, am I focusing on what I can control? Believe me, you'll see a big improvement in how resilient and effective you are. Lesson 4. Get to know yourself. Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Seneca. Thinking about yourself is important in Stoicism. The most famous Stoic book, Meditations, is Marcus Aurelius's diary. He wrote down his thoughts for himself, never planning to show them to anyone. But they give us really good ideas about Stoicism. For me, taking time every day to think has changed everything. I look back on what I did, the choices I made, and what happened because of them. If you read Hack Spirit often, you might know I do this by writing in a journal. Doing this not only helps me fix mistakes quickly, but also makes me stronger by reminding me of the tough stuff I've gotten through. The great thing about this is how easy it is. You don't need hours. Just a few minutes thinking about yourself can help you see things more clearly. By doing this Stoic practice of thinking about yourself, you can understand your life better and become resilient and more centered every day. Lesson 5. Remember that things are simply as we view them. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. Epictetus. Epictetus, a big name in Stoicism, tells us that what really bothers us isn't what happens, but how we think about it. In simple words, he'd say that how we see things changes what they are. This idea has been really important for me when dealing with tough stuff. Whether it's a tough client or something bad happening in my personal life, I've learned that how I react matters more than what's happening. In real life, this means picking how I see and react to things. It means I choose how things affect me. This way of thinking from Stoicism helps me be tougher and more able to handle whatever happens. By looking at things differently, I make the ups and downs of life easier to deal with. Now, following this Stoic idea doesn't mean pretending everything's fine when it's not, or being too positive. It means seeing things for what they are and picking a way to look at them that helps me stay calm and focused on what matters. Some things matter a lot. Most things don't. One big thing that we make a big deal out of is what other people think about us, which leads us to our next point, and it's the important one. Lesson 6. Focus on what you think, not what others think. Imagine this. You're looking at your social media and seeing lots of likes and comments on someone else's post. Then you look at your own, hardly any engagement at all. You feel disappointed, whether you admit it or not. Does that sound familiar? In today's super-connected world, it's really easy to decide how good we are based on what other people think, like how many likes we get online or how successful we seem compared to others. But Marcus Aurelius, a big name in Stoicism, pointed out something interesting about people. We care a lot about what others think, even though we think we're pretty great ourselves. He wrote, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinions of himself than on the opinions of others." This Stoic idea has been really important to me. If I based how good I am on every like or comment online, or every bit of feedback I get, I'd always feel unsure about myself. Stoicism taught me that I should believe in myself because of what I do and what I believe, not because of what other people say. Now, this doesn't mean ignoring what other people say. It means knowing what's helpful and what's just noise. It means understanding that while it's nice to hear good things and sometimes helpful to hear bad things, our real worth comes from what we do, how honest we are, and how well we know ourselves, not from what other people think about us at the moment. Lesson 7. Acknowledge that you will die. Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day. The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time. Seneca. In Stoicism, there's an idea called memento mori. It's Latin for remember you'll die. This idea might seem dark, but it's a big push to live a meaningful and strong life. It's really easy to get caught up in the little things of everyday life, putting off our dreams and forgetting about what's important. But when we remember that we're going to die someday, it helps us see what matters. What will we wish we'd done more of? What will we regret not doing? Knowing that our time is limited makes us stronger than just dealing with everyday problems. It helps us focus on what's important, and it pushes us to live every day with purpose and honesty. Remembering that we're going to die gives us the strength to get past tough times and live life to the fullest. Lesson 8. Do not be paralyzed by misfortune. Accept it as part of life. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power or our will. Epictetus, according to the Stoic philosopher. Epictetus, there are only a few things we can control that matter and can make our lives meaningful and less stressful. These things are what we think, what we do, what we want, and what we don't want. A big part of why people suffer is because they mix up these things and think they can control things they can't. We need to accept that we can't control everything and focus on what we can control. When we're facing tough times, like feeling homesick, dealing with a difficult coworker, or just feeling stuck and unmotivated, it's important not to stress about things we can't control. The same goes for emergencies where we have to act fast. We need to step back, take a breath, and look at the situation from a different angle. We need to ask ourselves how we can make things better and what's missing. In simple words, we need to see things differently. Instead of getting caught up in negative thoughts and behaviors that make us anxious, we need to be creative in how we deal with tough times. Lesson 9. Setting sail for success. If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Seneca, a Roman leader and a Stoic thinker, thought that many people aren't living their lives. They're just wasting time chasing things that don't matter. You need to take control of your life. This quote is saying that you should have a clear goal, a purpose that keeps you going and keeps you motivated. Otherwise, you'll just waste time drifting around. This idea is important, not just in life, but also in managing ships. The company's vision and long-term goals should be shared by everyone on board. Both the people working on land and the ones on the ship should work together to keep everyone motivated and focused. Lesson 10. Leveraging Stoic wisdom for professional resilience. No, it's fortunate that this has happened, and I've remained unharmed by it, not shattered by the present or frightened of the future. It could have happened to anyone, but not everyone could have remained unharmed by it. Another important thing to remember is that even if you can control how you react to things, you can't always control what happens next. What matters is that you try your best and feel good about how you handled things, given the situation. This will help you feel better about yourself and see your life more clearly. Stoicism teaches us to take care of ourselves by staying in the present and not letting outside things control us. Thinking about what we can learn from tough times and how they can make us stronger is a challenge worth taking on. By changing how we react to the challenges we face every day, whether on a ship or land, we can focus on what we can change. This will make us tougher and make our professional lives better. In conclusion, developing resilience is key to happiness, and the advice of ancient Stoic philosophers can help guide us on this journey. From understanding the power of our thoughts to embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, Stoicism offers practical tools for navigating life's ups and downs. So, how can we apply these Stoic lessons in our own lives to cultivate resilience and find fulfillment? What challenges will you embrace as opportunities for growth today? Join the conversation in the comments below, and let's inspire each other to live with purpose and resilience.